To welcome you guys back to this mediation session. Let's, talk about the issues that we appear to be having here. One of the issues that is clearly is put up front here is the operating in good faith. It appears that both parties don't feel that each party is operating in good faith. It feels there's a level of manipulation that is going on between both parties.
And like we said before, obviously I'm concerned about CBS's reputation, and obviously she's concerned about Time Warner Cable's reputation. So, for me, I like the idea of checking in with each other first before saying anything publicly. Because I'm not going to deny that I haven't said things publicly either. So
how do you feel about that? Checking.
I think that if we both have a more professional approach in how we communicate to each other and about each other, that we'll be headed in the right direction.
Also, you guys spoke about blocking out of customers, and again that was thought of, spoke about not being done in good faith. Customers that are not affected, who do not need to be affected, is being blocked out. Is that something that you guys, is there somewhere some underlying thought or something that you guys would like to do to somehow correct that issue?
Yeah, I'll likely end up losing customers because of the blackout as it is, but at least the blackout is for an affected area. I think it's completely unfair that we would be blacking out content to our broadband customers. And one way that I feel like we can demonstrate some good faith moving forward is there's a real serious consideration on their part to restore content to our internet broadband customers.
So you would like for them to restore content to your internet?
That's right.
Well, I feel that Time Warner is trying to take advantage of us, and for me, blocking the internet customers from CBS is an attempt to say, like, we're not going to allow you to try and leverage us and take advantage of us when we're trying to find a way to make sure that we as a company remain competitive. We as a company remain, on par with the other networks in the industry. And if Time Warner Cable is going to block out our programming and deny us business, then obviously we're not going to allow them to continue to have business on our dime. So when it comes to operating in good faith for us, you take away the blackout, we'll take away the internet block.
That's something that I think that we can talk about. I don't want to. The blackout was a way for us to try to work through our negotiation of the fees. You blocking content online is your way of doing that.
We only did that after you blocked us out off of TV.
Well, I felt like we had to do that because we were, facing, price gouging. It's outrageous what you're doubling up on your fees the way that you are, with no regard for our customers.
Every other company,
and
other than you,
customers,
is willing to pay those fees. They're just normal for the market.
But we have customers. We have colleagues at DirecTV who are our direct competitors who are even in support of us because they recognize that you guys are just out to make the most money possible.
They're in support of you choosing to fight. They're not necessarily in support of whatever specific fees are being paid. They said that they, I read that statement and they said that, they were in support of companies standing up to networks and that they've had to do that too. That doesn't necessarily mean that they support what you're proposing and not allowing us to receive the money that we're entitled to for high quality programming.
And you are entitled for money for your programming, but you're not entitled to price gouging. You're not entitled to the money that you're asking for.
So we seem to be at an impasse here with this issue, with this issue of the blackout, and it doesn't appear that that each party seems to want to get off their stance here, right? And but what I notice here is that your interest seems to somehow align. Both you guys seems to want to be able to present the best possible deal for your consumer.
That's right.
Is that correct?
That's been our stance all
And
along.
obviously, we're both businesses. We want to make money, and this is getting in the way.
That price is going to make me lose customers, and then I can't make money, and no one's watching your
It's the
content.
competitive rates for the market.
The jump that you're proposing from our last negotiated deal to now is like a 600% increase. And whatever you renegotiated lately with other customers, you can't expect for us to go
It's
from
not
the
a
deal that we
600%
had
increase.
to the deal that you're proposing now.
That's-
It's just outrageous.
It's not a 600% increase. That's just untrue, completely untrue. And for us, it's competitive market rates. It's other providers are paying what we're proposing they pay. They just don't want to pay more because they don't feel that you might feel that you're going to lose customers because the price for cable is going up. Well, people use other cable companies who have the prices that we're asking you to pay for our programming, and those companies still have customers. The idea that we're just trying to get as much money as possible. We're not trying to get as much money as possible. We're trying to get what we deserve.
So you just want the competitive, what you believe is a competitive market.
Yes, and if they want to work out some kind of way to find that, that's fine. But we're not going to stay with the original. We're not just going to renew the original agreement. That agreement was made when Netflix wasn't around, when Hulu wasn't around, when we didn't have all these other places to sell to. And the terms of this agreement that they're proposing is that we pay a lower rate and aren't able to.
Not a lower rate, just not as high as what you're saying, what your initial proposal is.
Well, then how high would you be willing to go?
I mean, that's something, that would be a serious negotiation. That would be us talking in good faith.
So
What you're proposing is out of the question, but that doesn't mean that I'm not asking for a repeat of the agreement we have. I understand we all need to make money. I want your programming back on my cable. But I'm not willing to pay what your initial proposal included. There is room there.
Well, I'm not sure if I believe you want us back because, to be honest, I heard rumor that you were negotiating with other networks for our spot.
Well,
And
you
to
know,
me,
I
that's-
have to prepare for you guys not budgeting, right? And so, yeah, absolutely, there are other channels that take the place of what CBS's slot at the moment. But I want to move forward with CBS programming. Soon it'll be football season, and my customers are going to want to watch football, and your sponsors are going to want you to show football. And so I'd rather us work through these things now before we're in a position where customers continue to lose out. I'm losing out on some key programming, and you're losing out on sponsor dollars. I think that the NFL pays them to actually show the games, not having it blacked out.
So this retransmission fee again, this seems to be another issue here that we are facing. You believe that the current rate that CBS is currently charging is not a fair rate.
What they're proposing in their new leasing transmission fee is too high. It just won't work for us. But an increase from what we previously had contracted for is fair.
Would you like to talk about that increase?
I think that there's room for an increase. I just don't think that it should be the percentage that she initially proposed. We can find something that truly is fair and reflects the market and takes care of the customer base so that we don't end up losing them because it's too high. And I think that's a conversation worth having.
Is that something you would be willing
I mean, I gotta be honest, it frustrates me a little that, you know, our numbers and word isn't being taken at face value, but if it would make, you know, if it would make her feel better to have an outside person assess what the market would be worth, then yeah, we can do that.
All right, so issues that we have identified here is, again, the blackout issue, good faith, operating in good faith, and also the retransmission fee. All right, we'll take a 5-minute break, and we'll come back.